wearing sunglasses, arrived in Rotterdam railway station in Holland on the express train from Paris. He checked into the luxurious Rhine Hotel in the city center under the name Antel Kunzel, an Austrian businessman. He then went to the nearby post office and rented a PO box under the same name. From the post office, he went to the Ambro Bank, opened an account, and deposited $3,000. At a printer's shop, he ordered business cards and stationery in the name of Anton Kunzel, manager of an investment company in Rotterdam. From there, he hurried to the Brazilian consulate, filled out the forms for a tourist visa to Brazil. Brazil. At a doctor's clinic, he underwent a perfectionist checkup and got medical certificate for his health. Then visited an optometrist, lied during the test, and ordered thick magnifying glasses, even though he didn't need them at all. The following morning, he made a short trip to Zurich and opened an account in Credit Suisse Bank, in which he deposited $6,000. Then he returned to Paris, where a makeup artist attached a bushy moustache to his face. The photographer took his pictures with his new glasses and handed him a set of passport photos. Back in Rotterdam, he brought the photos to the visa clerk at the Brazilian consulate, and the tourist visa to Brazil was stamped in his Austrian passport. मतलब उसने कुछ ऑस्ट्रियन पासपोर्ट पे जो था ब्राज़ीलियन का वो कर लिया था, ठीक है ना, एंथियन दिस थिंग, राइट. और वो चेकआउट हुआ था, चेक इन हुआ था दिस थिंग. तो पहले उसने क्यों किया, रॉटरडैम मतलब नीदरलैंड्स गया होगा, राइट. और नीदरलैंड्स से क्यों किया मुझे समझ में नहीं आया. Now he could buy his plane tickets to Rio de Janeiro and from there to Sao Paulo and Montevideo in Uruguay. Wherever he went, the loquacious Kunzel spoke of the flourishing business in Austria. तो कुंजल जो था ना, हर जगह जाकर के बोलता था कि मेरा बहुत अच्छा बिजनेस ऑस्ट्रिया में. The generous tips that he spread on his way, his choice of best hotels, and the most exclusive restaurants spoke for themselves. So best hotels, best restaurants, this thing. Kunzel indeed was a rich and a successful businessman. By these seemingly simple actions, Mozart agent Yitzhak Sare, not his real name, built a foolproof cover for himself. Somewhere between Paris, Rotterdam, and Zurich, Yitzhak Saret evaporated in the thin air and a new man emerged in his stead, Antal Kunz. तो Yitzhak Saret जो था ओरिजिनल नाम था और उसकी जो आइडेंटिटी चेंज हो गई थी Anton Kunzel, an Austrian businessman with an address in Rotterdam, bank accounts, business cards, a visa, and a plane ticket to Brazil.
आपने ऑस्ट्रेलियन नाम बताया.
हाँ.
और था कहाँ का?
इजरायली वो था ना, स्पाई था. Only a few days earlier, on September 1st, Yitzhak Saret had been summoned to a meeting in Paris. Saret was a member of the Mossad operational team named Caesarea. In a safe house on Avenue de Versailles, he met with Caesarea's commander, Yoske Yarif, a muscular man admired by his subordinates. Yarif, was former army officer, had replaced Rafi Ethan as the head of the operational team. Ethan had been appointed head of Europe station based in Paris. Yarif started by saying that in a few months the West German parliament would adopt a statute of limitations regarding war crimes, which meant that Nazi criminals now living undercover would be able to re-emerge from hiding and resume normal lives. तो उसने कहा कि भैया ऐसा है कि नाजी क्रिमिनल्स हैं वो लोग नॉर्मल लाइफ ले सकते हैं, और वो वेस्ट जर्मन पार्लियामेंट एक ऐसा लॉ लेके आ रही है.
क्या?
वेस्ट जर्मन पार्लियामेंट एक ऐसा लॉ लेके आ रही है जिसमें कि नाजी क्रिमिनल्स जो है अपना नॉर्मल लाइफ जी सकेंगे, as if they had never committed their atrocious acts. Yaref said that many Germans wanted to turn the page and leave their terrible past behind them. Even other nations that had suffered under the Germans were not even to keep searching for Nazi criminals. ठीक है ना भाई, और भी कंट्रीज जिन्होंने सफ़र किया था अंदर दिस थिंग, तो वो नाजीज के खिलाफ अब ज़्यादा जाना नहीं चाहते थे. Since Eichmann's capture 4 years earlier, awareness of Nazi crimes had diminished, as if Eichmann's trial and execution had closed a chapter in the world's history. It was imperative, Yaref said, to make sure that the statute of limitations on Nazi crimes did not become a law. मतलब उसका ये था कि भैया ये लॉ ना बने, जो नाजी उसका जो है ना वो लॉ ना बने. The world needed to be reminded that the monsters were still at large. ये हैवानियत के जो लोग हैं ये अभी भी पड़े हुए हैं, तो लोगों को सबको बताना पड़ेगा. We should kill one of the greatest Nazi criminals, Yaref said to Sarit. And a Mossad agent on a mission in South America had found the one. The butcher of Riga, a Latvian Nazi, guilty of massacring 30,000 Jews, had been positively identified. तो एक बुचर ऑफ रीगा था, ही वॉज अ लात्वियन नाजी, उसने करीब 30,000 लोगों को मारा था. अरे बाप रे, ये लोग बड़े खराब होते थे. ही वॉज लिविंग इन ब्राज़ील अंडर हिज रियल नेम हर्बर्ट कुकोर्स. द रामसाद मेयर अहमद हैड गिवन द ग्रीन लाइट फॉर द ऑपरेशन. तो उसका नाम था हर्बर्ट कुकोर और अपने असली नाम के साथ रह रहा था. Yariv now turned to Sarit, and not only because Sarit recorded as a smart and resourceful agent who had participated in the ointment operation. He also knew that Sarit was born in Germany and both his parents had died in the Holocaust. तो सारित के दोनों जो पेरेंट्स थे वो हॉलोकॉस्ट में मारे गए थे, वो जर्मनी में पैदा हुआ था. Sarit had escaped to Palestine but had sworn to fight Hitler and had been one of the first Palestinian volunteers in the British Army during the war. Yara did not have to worry about Sarit's motivation. सारित पूरा मोटिवेट था क्योंकि उसके दोनों पेरेंट्स जो थे ना वो हॉलोकॉस्ट में मारे गए थे, तो उसका तो इंटेंशन कि भैया इन लोगों को इनको ख़त्म किया जाए. I want you to build yourself as a cover as an Austrian businessman, the Caesarea commander said to Sarit. Your job will be to fly to Brazil, find Cocos and win his confidence. That is the first step towards his execution. In the detailed briefing that followed, Yarif gave Sarit his new name, Anton Kunzel. उसने उसका कहा कि भैया तुम्हारा नया नाम एंथन कुज्जल होगा, तुम ऑस्ट्रिया जाओ, बी ए सक्सेसफुल बिजनेसमैन, देन वहाँ से साउथ अमेरिका जाओ एंड देन बेफ्रेंड हिम और उसको मार दो, वो नाजी क्रिमिनल है. 10 days after the meeting in Paris, Anton Kunzel boarded a Varek plane to Rio de Janeiro. He was excited and yet troubled by his mission. He had never been in such a situation before. He had to operate completely alone in a foreign country and try and making friends with a monster with sharp senses who certainly expected that one day somebody would try to kill him. अब ये इसको जाना था अकेले और उसको पता था कि जो दूसरी तरफ जो आदमी है वो जर्मन, वो बहुत ही ख़राब किस्म का आदमी है, तो वो जो है वो लड़ सकता है और उसको पता है कि भैया मुझे मारने आ रहे हैं और बहुत ही शार्प है वो. Kunzel very well knew that a single mistake could cause the failure of the entire operation. Just one mistake could cost him his life. During the flight, Kunzel perused a voluminous file of documents, testimonies, and press cuttings about Herbert's cookers. ठीक है ना? में उसने बहुत सारी वो कहानियाँ पढ़ी. He had become famous in his 30s as a gifted and a bold pilot who had flown from Latvia to Gambia and Africa in a small plane he had built with his own hands. अम्मा सुन रही हो माँ? अम्मा तो कल पढ़ेंगे. माँ, my mother has slept. I'll read it tomorrow. Sorry guys.